Welcome to the 10th video you have watched on Bubba Wallace being suspended. Just know there's no originality nowadays on YouTube, man. It's like everyone should just make their own videos now. Oh my god. One person should own all the channels, so there's only one source of content. Cheers. I could have made this last night, but like I think I just wanted to just sit on it, you know, go on Twitter, look around. I'm not going to be doing that today. I'm not going to show you guys tweets. If you want to do it, go on Twitter, go to the search bar, type in Bubba Wallace. You could even go to NASCAR's like main tweet where it was first announced as 1,500 replies. So if you want to go look at that, go look at it. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to give you my honest opinion, and it's something that I don't think should surprise anyone. I've seen a lot of different opinions. That's what we're going to talk about in the video today. Is like basically explaining as to why certain people thought certain things, and then just kind of explaining why, you know, this was the obvious choice and what it was going to happen, and any other reasonings. There's a lot of arguments and crap going on. I'm not here to argue. I don't do any of that. I'm just here to call it like it is. Now, NASCAR, this is according to Bob Pockris, NASCAR used a certain rule in the penalty report that allowed them to basically suspend Bubba Wallace, and it says that member actions could result in a loss of 25 to 50 driver or team owner points, and or $50,000, $1,000 fine, and or violations may also result in race suspensions, indefinite suspension, and termination. And under one of them, it's intentionally wrecking or spinning another vehicle, whether or not that vehicle is removed from competition as a result. Now, important to note, there is no fine, there is no points penalty. It's just a one-race suspension. The one-race suspension is, in its own way, a points penalty, because obviously he won't score any points. So, you know, that's that. One of the arguments that's been going around on the Bubba Wallace suspension, and, you know, to be fair, he did release a statement. He apologized and said, you know, the actions are not reflective of him and he needs to learn and all that. So, you know, he put out that statement. But I've seen a lot of people try to compare this to, like, other incidents in, whether it be the truck series or other incidents. You know, like, for example, I've seen the William Byron one used, like when Byron hit Denny Hamlin in the rear bumper at Texas under yellow, and it spun Hamlin to the infield, and people are saying, why was that, you know, like, not the same thing? And that's the thing, is that when, you know, for some reason, people cannot take incidents in its own, like, perception, what's the word I'm looking for, in its own, you know, context, or its own separate thing. Like, every incident is different. No incident is the same. And so for some reason, people always want to say when a certain penalty or certain thing has happened, they always try to go back and look like, but this happened back then, and this happened here, and this happened there. If you just stop, just ignore all that. What I said the other day was, this is the perfect opportunity for NASCAR, you know, whether people like it or not, to set precedent. And setting precedent means it hasn't been set before, so you shouldn't be looking at things from the past. The facts of the matter are, Bubba Wallace, at very high speed, intentionally right rear hooked another driver into oncoming traffic, and those are the facts. Did William Byron intentionally right rear hook Denny Hamlin into oncoming traffic? No, he did not do that. So, you know, it's not the same. Don't use other incidents to try to justify whatever you're trying to justify. It should be that simple. And NASCAR did exactly what I thought they should do, and they set precedent. Unfortunately, it's Bubba Wallace. Unfortunately, that brings out all the racists. Unfortunately, it creates this massive talking point to where I've now made a third video this week. Well, I mean, the post-race review was always going to happen, but I've now made a second video this week on Bubba Wallace and all that. And Sky is looking at me like I'm trying to record, dude. Freddie Kraft, the spotter for Bubba Wallace, great guy. You know, he tweeted unprecedented, and I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to come off as a smart ass, but like, that's the point. Like, yes, he's right. It is unprecedented. That's the whole point. That's why it was the perfect opportunity to just set the example. Unfortunately, it had to happen to him. It is what it is, but that's the example now. If you right rear hook someone at high speeds on oncoming traffic intentionally, you will get suspended. Clear cut, over with. Now, what's going to be annoying is like in the Daytona 500, when there's pushing down the back straightaway and someone gets right hooked, someone. It's going to be by accident because of the pushing and the shoving and the blocking and all that stuff. And the idiots will easily come out and say, well, why wasn't he suspended? He right rear hooked someone at Daytona at high speed. It's going to happen. And you just got to ignore them. Honestly, that's unfortunate. Like the way of the world. You just got to ignore them because people are just going to troll and try to wind you up. And so, for Freddie Kraft as the spotter, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But he should know this was going to happen, and it happened, and it's the right call. And what do you guys think? Is it the right call? I mean, I called it literally the night of, and so did everyone else apparently, that he should have been suspended. But I gave my reason. Of, he shouldn't. It's not suspend him because it was completely egregious, and then he shoved Larson out. It had nothing to do with outside of the car. Like I think Joey Logano on Sirius XM. There's a tweet going around of him being on Sirius XM, and there's like a 2-minute 20 clip of him talking about it, and his views aligned literally exactly perfectly to mine. It's the fact of, if you want to get revenge or retaliation or whatever, you can do it outside of the car. No one really has a problem with that. If you want to fight, you can fight. He doesn't agree with using the car as a weapon. Now, I agree with that in a way. I mean, I still think it's okay to, like, if you want to spin someone out or put someone in the wall, like, not egregiously like Bubba Wallace did, but if you want to, like, put someone in the wall, spin someone out in the corner by laying a little tap to them, under caution. I know Logano said it's still probably not okay, but under caution, if you want to go side swipe someone to show your displeasure, you're still technically using your car as a weapon, but it's not like this. And that's my point is, if you really want to get retaliation or something, you can't right rear hook someone. And from now on, that is the precedent. And that's the reality, and everyone will be held to that standard. And so hopefully we just don't see this again. Now, cars will still get right rear hooked. It'll happen by accident. It will happen by, maybe, I don't know, two cars getting together down a straightaway and it ricochets and someone gets right rear hooked. And, like, it's going to happen. We've seen it happen all the time. The whole point is, intentionally, you will get suspended one race. There's no ifs, ands, buts, no debates. And I love that. I think NASCAR made a really, really good call. Steve O'Donnell explained it as well and everything, and they came out and just said they had to make the call. And unfortunately for NASCAR, they're going to get so much hate from every single direction, whether it be a Bubba Wallace fan, whether it be just people hating on NASCAR in general for their calls, whether it be people saying that they're not consistent and that, well, this guy should have been suspended and that guy should have been suspended. They knew what they had to do. I'm pretty sure by Sunday night, they knew what they had to do. And they did it. And they knew they'd get backlash. And they knew Bubba Wallace would get backlash. And they knew it would be a massive talking point, and it would get taken out like into really extreme levels of pure nonsense and stupidity. But they did it. And it's the right call, and I'm really proud of them for doing it. And, I will be at Homestead this weekend, and unfortunately, Bubba Wallace won't be there. Fun fact, Bubba Wallace is the first driver I ever, met. It's him. He's the first driver I ever technically met. It's on my Instagram if you go all the way down. I think it's like 2017 Daytona 500, I'm pretty sure. Or not Daytona, 2017 Coke Zero 400. My friend, forced me to go onto the grid and ask him for a picture. I've never taken a picture with another driver since. It's like, he's the only driver. He's the first driver I met and the only driver I've ever taken a picture with. I don't ask drivers for pictures or anything like that unless a certain someone forces me to meet Jeff Gordon and my heart rate skies up to 170. And God bless Eric Estep for taking a candid photo of me meeting my childhood hero. But other than that, I don't, communicate with him. So, it would have been cool to see Bubba Wallace again, but he's not going to be at Homestead. And rightfully so. And that's that. And he'll come back at Martinsville. And he'll finish out the season. And remember, Matt Kenseth was suspended, in 2015 for being a lap down. I know I just said don't compare things. But, it's not like drivers have not been suspended before. You could argue, what was before that? 2012, Jeff Gordon on Clint Boyer. was basically the same thing that Matt Kenseth did in 2015, and Gordon did not get suspended, and then he went on to win Homestead. So, like, listen, the inconsistency is a part of it, but that's the past. The past is the past. The past is not my concern. My concern now is Bubba Wallace gets suspended for one race for a right rear hook. From now on, that's it. Stay consistent. Now, I'll make another video. If this same thing happens again next season, it involves two different drivers, and the data and the telemetry shows that a certain driver right rear hooked someone down a straightaway, and it was really dangerous on oncoming traffic, and NASCAR doesn't suspend them, I will come back, make another video, ripping NASCAR to shreds, and saying, how dare you do this? I don't think that's going to happen, because now it's set. Everyone knows. Fans, drivers, teams, owners, they know. All right, there you go. One race suspension if you do it. It's the right call. We move on, and that's it. You know, is that it? I think that's it. Comment down below, guys, what you think of everything. And just remember, you know, try to be civil about it. Try to have common sense about it. Like, to me, it's not that difficult to understand. But when it comes to Bubba Wallace, you know, people will find every way possible to justify whatever their true intentions are. Whether it be racing-wise, whether it be going after NASCAR, whether it be something completely else and not justified, and, you know, it is what it is. And because it's him, that's why all this nonsense happens. I'm glad to... Sky, be quiet. I'm glad to get, you know, for this to be over, move on to Homestead, and what I believe is going to be a very solid race. I haven't been to Homestead in 4 years, I think, which is crazy because it's my home track. But I haven't been there I don't even remember, like, the last race I went to at Homestead. I'm pretty sure it was 4 or 5 years ago, but I don't remember the race at all. Like, yeah, it's been a long time. So I'm excited to go back to Homestead. Take care of yourselves, guys. I will see you guys maybe later today. I'm not sure yet. I do have to pre-record some stuff because I will be going back to South Florida. So I have to pre-record some stuff. So I might just be busy doing that. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of the day. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. If you are not already, if you want to just see photos of Sky all the time, Instagram is the place to go. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. Subscribe if you are new. And hopefully I never have to make another video about this again. Take care of yourselves. Peace out.